Hi, it's a Lipstick Gal. Thanks so much for watching today. I wanted to share my June favorites with you. It was a really busy month for us, and the weather here has been kind of strange, where it wasn't until this last week of June where we finally got temperatures above like 80 degrees, which I'm not complaining about because I love a cooler start to summer. I love to be able to sit out on my porch any time of day with a cool beverage and just enjoy, but it's definitely heating up, and I can definitely tell that my makeup preferences are changing as the weather warms up. So let's talk about it. First thing, before I get into makeup, let's just talk about these beautiful, glorious rougher brushes. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is the one that started it all. This is the 05 brush. This came as a gift when I made a purchase from M Cosmetics this month. And I had never ever tried rougher brushes before. Been thinking about them. I'd been, in and out of the cart, in and out of the cart. When this showed up with something from M and I tried it on my face, I was like, what are these soft little baby angel wings on my face? I need more. So I made another purchase and I got these guys. These are the Essential Collections Plus. I also added on this right here. I love this little brush here, and their brush wash, which is like a black charcoal based bar, but it's in my bathroom because I've been washing the brushes. All right, let me just tell you, if you haven't tried rougher and you like natural hair Fude brushes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I don't have a lot of handmade Japanese brushes. I have some Sonia G, I have some Wayne Goss, but other than that, I don't have anything else. But if this is what I've been missing out on, why did I wait so long? These are glorious. The other thing that's fantastic about this is that they have something called their concept store. So I got this set of 6 items here, and this one also came from the concept store, as did the store, but they weren't all bundled together. So these 6 items were in a bundle. This was separate, the soap was separate, but here's the great part, is they want to hear feedback from their customers. And so they let you, try the products at 40% off. I was like, what? And then they just ask in 60 days time that you write them a thoughtful review. Yes, please. I actually enjoy writing reviews and I enjoy reading reviews because I feel like that really helps me as a consumer decide where I want to spend my dollars. I can't wait to talk about these brushes. Now, I'll tell you, my most used favorite ones are these guys, like these guys right here. I love these face brushes. I have the 4, 5, 22, and 24 brush. My favorite one is the 22, which is this guy right here, the bronzer brush. And it's only clean because I told myself, I'm recording this tomorrow. I need to wash that brush, let it dry into its beautiful fluffy shape. Oh, these have just been the best. If you're curious, I've been using the 04 that's angled for powder contour. I have been using the 24 brush for blush. This one is like really great. Of course, the 22 is my ultimate bronzing brush. And I've been using the 05 for powder. Powder under the eyes, powder in the center of my forehead, my T-zone. I did use this initially for bronzer when it first came, and I think it does a great job, but this is a great overall brush for the face. You could use it for blush, you could use it for bronzer, you could use it for powder, whatever makes your heart happy. But I feel like I'm liking these guys best: contour, bronzer, blush, and powder. That's just how I've been using them and have been loving them. I was sure that when it came to pencil brushes, I just wasn't a fan of pencil brushes until I met this little guy right here. This is the 03, and it has, it's not too small, but it's very, very detailed, and it's super soft. And maybe all the other ones I've been using were maybe too densely packed, and I don't know, I was getting either too defined of a line, and I was trying to smoke it out. This has been like the best pencil brush I have ever used. And now I actually am reaching for it daily instead of reaching for a different type of kind of lower lash line smudging brush. I have used it to place basically powder as eyeliner on my upper lid and then smoking it out into a wing. I have used this a lot this month. I've also used this number 22 to pack on like sparkle on the lid. If I want something very specific in the inner corner, I use it there. That's how I've been using this with creams, liquids, as well as just foils, and this is beautiful. Now between these two, the number 1 and the number 2, I'll just tell you the number 1 is nice. I didn't like it when I first got it because it was like fresh straight out of the box. And there's a little fluffy, beautiful thing that happens when you wash these. They kind of poof up just a little bit. And when I got it, it was a little, you know, thin and flat, and I felt like it didn't have a lot of life to it. Love it so much now. But this one right here, this is the number 2. This has become my like superhero brush, and I didn't expect it because I didn't like it when it first came because it was very tight. And now that it's been washed, I love this for like smudging product on the lower lash line. If I put a light wash of something down and I want it to look kind of diffused and almost not there, this is what I reach for. If I want to really like hit the glow up in the inner corner, I reach for this. And I have been using this for packing on shadow, especially darker shades in the outer corner because it's not too big. This is just a gorgeous brush and the blend is beautiful. These have been great additions. I am super excited to try more, and it's definitely on my list of things to purchase. All right, let's talk about some makeup. I'm not wearing any foundation today. I'm wearing what is kind of like my favorite summer concealer, and it's the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I've had this for almost a year now, and it has really become kind of like my preferred product for the days when I need just a little bit of coverage, not too much. So I have this underneath the eyes, corners of the nose, a little bit to even out the redness I have on my chin, and then just on specific places around my face, and it doesn't really look like it, but they would be a little bit darker if I didn't have a little bit of this down. But this is just the right consistency and the right shade for me to be able to put it just in specific places, kind of tap it out from where I have concealer to where I don't have concealer, and then go on with the rest of my day. If I need to actually add a little bit more, I realized that my under eyes were getting a little bit dark. I could see that. I just pick up, this is another favorite of mine. This is the Angie Houghton Flashy BK Beauty brush. This is the A506. I'll pick up a little bit of this and I'll just tap it under the eyes and then finish it with my fingers, and it's fantastic. So I have been very heavily skipping like full-on foundation and just reaching for this, and only where I need it, which is not all over the face, because the hotter it gets, the more I feel like my face is prone to kind of like sliding off, and it's just easier. I'm not dripping foundation when it gets sweaty. On the days that I am wearing foundation, I've made an interesting combo out of 2 separate products. I mix it on my little stainless steel palette that I love having here on my desktop, and it's a half, maybe even like a quarter pump of the Misha Perfect BB Cream. I have the shade number 21, and the Shiseido Synchro Skin Radiant Lifting Foundation. Now, the reason that I combined both of these is because this is a little too light, and this one is too dark. This one here is the Misha Perfect Cover, and this one is the Shiseido. And this one is way too dark for me, but I love the natural skin-like finish. This one is too light for me. I can make it work if I bronze just right, but what I've been doing is taking like, you know, 1 part this to 3 parts that for this right here. And you see how perfectly that blends into my skin? I have been loving this. And I didn't know that these guys were gonna work well together. I wouldn't say it's the longest lasting foundation because it is very glowy, it is very dewy. Both this and this offer that, but I'm getting excellent coverage. So on the days that I wear this, I do end up powdering my whole face, and then I top it with powder, bronzer, blush, highlight, all of that. But this right here, I didn't know. I love the way both of these look on their own, but they just weren't the right shade. This right here, this Shiseido foundation does not come in a perfect shade for me. The next shade darker than this is too dark and too yellow. This one here is the right undertone, but it's too fair. This one here is like really gray. Really gray. And together, you know, using more of this and less of this, I'm just getting utter perfection. That was a random surprise, and I love that I'm able to pull out products I already have in my collection and make them work for me. This has been a favorite product of mine since it arrived last year. I got this last June, and it wasn't even new in June. It was just I finally tried it in June last year. But this is the under eye powder from Pat McGrath. I'm sure it's part of the Sublime Skin collection. I forget what it's called because I feel like the packaging, like the labels on the back, they kind of let me down because it's all printed in gold on a clear sticker and then it's put on there, and after like, you know, 30 days, like all the gold writing is gone. Okay, that's my only beef with this, but I love this. First of all, I love how small it is. It does come in a little domed compact because it is a domed product, but I mean, I just continue to tear through this, and it's basically, not always, but almost always, the only powder I'm wearing on my face. I wear it underneath my eyes, and because I only wear powder on the rest of my T-zone, I'll put some on my forehead, nose, and chin and call it good. But I feel like I'm not gonna be able to do that. The weather, remember I told you the weather's been cool, and I just use whatever's left over on the brush to kind of hit the rest of my face. Now that things are warming up, your girl's gonna need a little bit more powder, and I don't wanna use a $30 powder all over the face. I think I'm gonna reserve this for just the under eyes, but the longer I use this, the more I see why I'm definitely gonna need another one. This is a beautiful product, and I have been loving this a lot this month. So remember how we were talking earlier about the Rougher 05? This was a gift from M Cosmetics when I purchased their Corselet Contour Bronzing Powder. I have the lightest shade in Slip, and I have been head over heels for this. This is a fantastic product. It is not too much. It's buildable. I think buildable is the best way to describe this because even to get a heavy swatch, it's kind of hard for me to do. But it has I would say it's a soft matte. I wouldn't say that it's radiant because I don't feel like it's radiant at all, but it doesn't look completely like flat and matte, and it's also not glowy. This has a beautiful finish on the skin. It looks like skin, but it's the right shade to do a little bit of bronzing. So you're contouring but with a bronzer. This is great because it's a little bit cool, it's not too warm, it's absolutely stunning, and the finish looks so pretty on the skin. It really looks skin-like and like natural shadows. I really have been liking this a lot. Another product that I got this month, and I had been using, I didn't really do a look what I got because June was busy for me. It kind of got away from me, but I have fallen in love with this. And mine is all like gooed up because I'm just gonna wipe it in the towel I keep in my lap. So this is what it looks like. This is the Beautiful Skin Sun-Kissed Glow Bronzer. I have the lightest shade in Fair. And this, if you're wondering what this looks like compared to the one from M, it's definitely a different tone overall. That's what it looks like when it's not blended in. So let me give it a little bit of a blend, but it blends with no effort at all. I remember seeing Wayne Goss talk about how this shade is a little bit more yellow based. I find that to be true with this, but I like the tone of this one better than the Airbrush Flawless Bronzer that I have in Fair, which is so yellow, it almost makes me look jaundiced. I have to make sure I'm wearing the right blush, the right eyeshadow, the right lipstick, because if I wear anything that's too cool with that yellow toned bronzer, I look like a crazy person, but this looks really pretty on me. I would say that between the two of these, this one definitely has a little bit more yellow to it. This one's a slightly more pink, but I've been using them a lot. So on the days I'm wearing all cream products, like today, I'm wearing this, and on the days that I'm wearing powder products, I've been using this a lot. This is not a new product, but it has really become a superhero product for me this month. And it's from Ritual Defee. This is one of their Color Nectar pigment balms. This is the shade Bloodflower. I've talked about this a lot. This is just a perennial favorite, and especially in the summertime when I'm, wearing less products overall. I may not want to wear bronzer. I may not want to wear eyeshadow. Maybe it's just lips and cheeks and eyebrows and concealer for me. This is what I reach for because although it looks really dark in the pan, this is what it looks like. It's fabulous on the lips. It's one of those that when you take the time to blend it, on my fair skin, it gives me what I like to call Snow White cheeks, where they're really blushed and flushed, but just not too much. So gorgeous. And I use this interchangeably on the lips and the cheeks. You can use it all over the face. I think that they even recommend this for the eyes. I think it's a little too creamy for me, and I would end up with some creasing, but some people like that look. I also like that it has, you see the shine that it has here in the pan. You do get that kind of glowy skin-like look with this. This is a beautiful product. I would not be mad to have more of these. Another cream product, I guess it's a liquid product that I have been in love with this month, is this. It's the Lisa Eldridge Elevated Glow. I got the new shade Pink Moon. I think it was at the end of May. I misordered. I made an order from Lisa Eldridge thinking I was picking this up, and I picked up Cosmic Rose, which is also beautiful, but this shade right here is so lovely. I still feel like between Cosmic Rose and Crystal Nebula and Pink Moon, my favorite is still Crystal Nebula, but this has such a gorgeous shift to it. Crystal Nebula is a little bit more golden and a little bit deeper in tone, and you can see it on my cheeks just a little bit more. This one here just looks like beautiful glowy glass skin, and I love it for that. So if I'm going for a slightly less intense glow, I will use this. The one thing that's weird, and I don't understand it, and it depends on whether I can get it to do it, is if I'm, putting a dab down and then I take a beauty sponge and I start pouncing, you can see it does it right here. It leaves these little flecks behind. I don't know what that is, because the minute I rub it, you can see how it gives it a little bit of smear. This must be the like glowy pearls in the product, because when I take the time to really blend it in, they blend, but I feel like this is not one of those products that I would blend with anything other than my fingers, because if you take a sponge to this, the minute you touch it down, it picks up a lot of the liquid and it's leaving you with those kind of crushed pearly pigments behind. So I find this is best when I just take the time to rub it in with my fingers. And what I start doing is I'll tap it between my fingers to get it distributed and kind of warmed up, and then I'll tap it where I want it. But this is a beautiful product, just a FYI, and I've only noticed it with Pink Moon. I haven't noticed it with Crystal Nebula. I haven't noticed it with, was it Cosmic Rose? Only with Pink Moon. So I don't know if it's a slight formula change, but it's still a gorgeous highlighter, and I have figured that out, and now it's not causing me any moments of consternation. Another easy product that I have been loving for those gotta go days is this. This is the cream eyeshadow from Sydney Grace. This is a shade that came in my May bundle. And I'd mentioned before that I'd been struggling to get these to work for me, that they were perpetually creasing or separating, and I figured out I was getting either eye cream on my lid or I was getting sunscreen on my lid. And so what I started doing was taking a cotton round with a little bit of micellar water, making sure my lid was clean before I put these on, and no longer a problem. This is the shade Cliff Jumping, but look at that. It's so pretty, it's super reflective, and then when it sets, it stays all day. So this is one of those products you're gonna wanna use one eye, blend it, then put it on the other eye. Don't try and do them at the same time. You may not like the results. The other thing that's nice about this is if you take a brush, let's say that you have it, but you want a little bit more blend on it, you can just start, maybe I can do it and show you at the same time here, softening the edge once they're set. They set pretty quickly, and it really does help without messing it up to kind of give you a softer, little bit more blended edge. I like to do the bulk of it with my fingers and then just take this right in the crease and go back and forth until I get the desired results. This is really easy and perfect for those gotta go days when I need a little something and I want to look pulled together but not have to spend too much time. This shade, and it's called Cliff Jumping, and I love it. Let's talk about some of the other eyeshadows I have been loving this month. One that I've had for a long time, couple of years, and I'm wearing it today, it's absolutely stunning, is the Summer Days palette from Sydney Grace. I forget how fabulous this is, and I'm wearing the shade S'mores today. This is the only shade I have on my eyes. I have it lightly buffed and then kind of tapped on the center for just a little bit more sparkle. I love this. I feel like waste not, want not. Let's use what we have. But this is amazing. The thing that I really like about this is that some of these more neutral shades in through here lean just a little bit rosy in tone. This has been one I've been reaching for a lot and never seems to let me down. Another one that's a little bit newer to my collection I picked up in May during, was it April or May? During the Viseart sale is this one. This is the Sol La Plage. I didn't get it when it first came out last summer because I was like, orange, blue, yellow. Love this palette. Now I will tell you, I have not used this shade right here. This is the only shade I haven't used in the palette. I think I might have swatched it, but I haven't used it on the eye. I did a look where I had a lot of these browns and a light wash of this blue, which is, you know, when you really sheer it out, it's so pretty. I have used like this little butter yellow as an inner corner highlight on an all matte day. I've used these kind of bright orangier shades here. This one is a real favorite of mine. It's so pretty. And I just didn't realize I was going to enjoy it as much as I did. I have been using it a lot this month, and I think it's a fantastic addition to my collection. I'm glad I have it. Now, there are a couple of new palettes in here that I picked up this month, and I don't think they're gonna be a surprise. One is the Nouveau Palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the sort of eyeshadow I want to wear. I have been really in love with this shade right here, this rose gold shade called Lily. This is the most gorgeous, I mean, like, look at that. It's stunning, and it has a similar feel and texture to it to a lot of the Sydney Grace pigments that I love. I also have been enjoying these two more green shades. This one is Hope. Well, this one is Hope, and this one is Wings. And they're so pretty, but they look so gorgeous on the eye. I like that you can really go for some green looks in through here. This has definitely been a favorite that I wore it for like a week straight. It came in mid-June and I wore it for a week, and then about a week later the next one came and I've been wearing it for like the last week. I've been wearing it every day except today. I was like, okay, wear something else, but it's the new Smoky Quartz palette from Goss. This is so beautiful. So the first day I used it, I used all 6 shades, and I will link that video for you here. I did a day where I used this here. This I used as a, it's a beautiful satin shade, and I used it all on its own as a one shadow look right here. And it has a subtle softness to it, a sheen, but almost not. It's so gorgeous. I've also used this on days where I've used a couple of other colors, and I used this to kind of draw out a smoky wing with that little teeny tiny pencil brush from Rougher, this guy here. This is the number 3 brush. Loved that together. There was a day that I did nothing but mattes. I did 4 mattes. I think that was yesterday. In love. Another look that I did was I used this Celestial shade, but just really lightly on the eye. So it was kind of like a bare little bling of sparkle with mascara, like the lightest, like feather light application of mascara. So it was very much like a almost not wearing makeup, but wearing just a little bit of sparkle and shade. I have been loving it. So this has definitely been a favorite as well. Most of this month, I've been reaching for the same mascara. I have been looking for a really good tubing mascara because when I'm working as a dental assistant, I'm sitting up over the top of the patient and I'm looking down, and I notice that my lashes touch right up here. And when I'm wearing regular mascara, I end up with little dots right here of mascara. Sometimes they're gray, sometimes they're black, and then they just start to kind of like spread out. I was like, no. So tubing mascaras don't do that. My favorite one, I talked about it before, is the Hamish Smudge Stop Mascara. I get this for I think $10 or $11 on iHerb. I love it. I have also been loving the one from M, but this is a $20 mascara. This has been the one that I continually reach for, and I really like it. It holds my curl pretty well. It's not the most like dramatic mascara, but I like the way my lashes look when I'm wearing it. It gives me a little bit of volume, but a lot of length, and it doesn't go anywhere. That's what I want. The only thing I struggle with, and I'm just not really good with a curved wand. Me and a curved wand, I want to do better with it. It's still making me struggle. If I'm thinking about things that I have been reaching for and reapplying, I have been loving these lip cushions from M. Both of these are from the Masterpiece collection. This is the darker of the two. I think this one is called Van Gogh. And the lighter of the two is Mona Lisa, and I have been reaching for these a lot. They're super pretty. So Van Gogh and Mona Lisa. I have really been loving glossy, shiny lips, easy. And so if like the color slightly, because the older I get, the more I have those fine lines around the edges of my mouth, and the more likely things are to trail just a little bit. I have been loving these because if they do, they're not so obvious. Another one that's not so obvious that I have been loving, and I want more of these lipsticks. These Merit Signature lightweight lipsticks are beautiful. I have one shade in Baby, and ever since I picked it up, I have not been able to stop wearing it. So it's not as shiny. It is a cream lipstick, and it's so nourishing and comfortable on the lips. It lasts well all day. I wear this under my mask at work. I wear these guys under my mask at work. I have been loving it. And I've also really been loving this. This is the Fenty Beauty Heat in Fussy. Okay, so if you are familiar with the regular formula of the Fenty gloss bombs, they're super shiny, they're super pretty. Fussy is my favorite shade. And I got this in a set earlier this month, and I really, really love it. It does kind of have that tingling because it's a plumping lip gloss, but I have been head over heels for this. Now there are days that I want something just a little bit punchier. I have been loving reds for the summer with like almost no makeup. And the one that I keep going to is from Maybelline. It's the Ultimate Slim Lipstick. I have the shade More Ruby, and this is an unapologetic boom in your face. It's matte, and the weird thing is normally drugstore matte lipsticks and me don't get along because they're too drying for my lips. This one is not drying. I feel like if I start with really well hydrated lips, I can put this on and it dries down and it stays and it really doesn't smudge or budge or go places, and I love it. And it's a super intense color. So if there are days that I want a punchy color but I don't want it to be too heavy, I want it to be creamy, I go for this. This is a Wayne Goss lipstick. I love this. This is in the shade Zinnia. It's his not red red. I know he doesn't love red lipsticks, but I love a red lip. And this is like so beautiful, so gorgeous. This I had to pull out of my purse. Actually, these guys had been living in my purse. I had to go and rescue them. They were fantastic. My last favorite is skincare. It's from Glossier. This is their After Balm Recovery Moisture Barrier Cream. Okay, I love this. Now we're getting to the point where the weather is warming up and I can't use a ton of this at night, but this is the most beautiful, like kind of almost cushiony sort of product. It goes on and it's not too heavy. You can definitely build it up, but it brings the most lovely nourishment to the skin. I love it. It has like I feel like it smells like ingredients because it doesn't really smell like a fragrance to me. And I like that. I feel like skincare should not really have a scent added to it. But this, I can only wear it like when I got it earlier, about a month and a half ago, I was wearing it during the day because it was still cold here. But as the weather is warmed up, I can't use it as a day cream. I'm using it as a night cream, and my skin is so happy in the morning. I have been using some actives that kind of made my skin a little bit unhappy. This kind of brought it back to a happy place. I'm really glad I picked this up. And if you have dry skin, if you have maybe sensitive skin that needs a little bit of moisture barrier repair, you might actually really love this. The other thing that I love about this is not your standard size. In the United States, most face creams come in a 1 ounce container. This is in a 1.6 ounce or 50 mils. I love that about it. I think it's great that you're getting like 1.5 times more than you would get in a traditional jar, like if you went to Lancome or Estee Lauder or any of those kind of more luxury expensive brands. You're getting more here, and it's a gorgeous, gorgeous product. I love this, and my face is so happy in the morning. And I know that when the weather starts cooling down in fall and winter, this is going to be something I'm going to be, if I haven't finished it yet, reaching for, and if I finished it, repurchasing. I also had some fails this month that I wanted to share with you. It's kind of like a little box of them here. Let me talk about the ones that kind of broke my heart the most, and that was these guys. Now, I know they're not able to be purchased right now, but these are the Enlivening Blushes from Lisa Eldridge. I have loved these formulas so much, but this packaging is the worst. This one, I don't know if you can tell, it busted right here where it was crimped and it had product coming out the end. That also happened to this one. You can actually see the hole in this one. This one here had product coming right around where this nozzle is kind of attached to the tube, and it had product leaking out like all up around right in through this rim area, and it's coming out over here. It's not where it's supposed to come out, and it's been so frustrating. So what I've had to do with these is I've had to squeeze them all out into other small airtight containers. I think this one here is the peach one. I have 2 containers this size that are of the one in Island Glow. This is the one that I love so much in Dante's Dream. And then I have, oh, this one's my favorite, Venetian Red. And it's sad, but they just don't do well in this packaging. Now, I will tell you, I've had this packaging for a year, but I had a subscriber mention that they bought one of these shades, and within 2 months, the same thing that happened to me happened to them by having the packaging get holes in the end where it should have been crimped. They're not in stock. You can't purchase them, but my recommendation to you would be, if they do come back into stock, the formula is beautiful. It's amazing. It's so nice. But if you see it in this packaging, just avoid it. I did take the time to write an email to customer support and say, look, I've had these blushes for a year. I'm not asking for my money back. I'm not asking for them to be replaced. I would just like to kindly suggest that you find an alternative form of packaging, because all 3 of my tubes, they were doing fine and they all failed in the month of June. And I have really been loving these. This one still has a little bit left into it because I didn't have room for it in the other container, but I really like this formula. And I have noticed it hasn't really changed consistency after having put it in a little container like this. It's still just as creamy. It blends just as well. Now this is getting messy. You can see it's all up around here. So I know why they wouldn't put it in a container like this, but they need to either find different plastic, a different nozzle, something, because this packaging, oh, made me super sad. Another product that I think is a packaging fail, because I really like the product and I've had this for like more than a year and I've been trying to use it up, and I've been reminded constantly because I've been using it a lot in June, and it was going to be in my faves because I like the formula and I like the color. I just don't like the packaging. It's this. This is the Kosas Sport Hyaluronic Lip Tint. I don't remember what it's called. The label came off the back, but I know this is a shade Rush. And this is why I hate it, because it's, first of all, I don't like things that are oval shaped. But the hardest part for me is that instead of the cap just sitting here like you would have on, this is oval and I don't care for that, but the product only has a cap that long. The problem with having a cap this long, although the packaging looks super sleek and fun, is that this happens to it. Like there's product all up inside here and it always looks messy. And every time I pull it out and I apply it and I put it back on, more of the product just scrapes down the sides. And I have cleaned this outside, like the inside of the cap, and this probably like twice a week for the last month. And it still looks like this. Imagine if I never cleaned it, what it would look like. And I hate pulling this out if I'm around other people, because it looks like I'm a crazy monster with my makeup, and I'm not. And this is such a lovely shade and a very comfortable lip balm. It's beautiful and perfect for me underneath my mask at work, and that's how I've been using it. But every time I pull it out, it looks so gross. So for me, it's the packaging, not the product. It has a nice minty tingle to it. It has a really pretty soft color. It's comfortable, it hydrates, it does everything I want it to do. I just hate the packaging with my whole heart. I have been trying this. Now this is not a new product, but everybody has loved this Maybelline Sky High mascara, and I actually really like it. And I didn't know because they don't put it on the packaging, and I would think it would be like a marketing point. It's a tubing mascara, and I really like that about it. I'm not wild about this kind of rubber bristle silicone wand. That's okay, I can get it to work. And I like that it stays until I take it off. The problem that I have with this, my beef with this, is a lot of the other tubing mascaras that I have the new one from Lancome, I have this one from Hamish that I love, I have the one from M Cosmetics, all the other ones that I've tried before, like the mascara from Blink, even the L'Oreal one that comes with a double-ended tube that's white on one end and I think burgundy on the other, and a burgundy tube. They all, when you get them wet, they all just kind of like little tiny spider legs are falling off your lashes. And that's what it looks like. This one, sometimes it comes off clumpy and sometimes it doesn't come off, and I'm trying to get it off, and I'm using a makeup balm. I'm using a regular like facial wash, and I'm like rubbing, and I have to rub so much. I feel like I'm taking off waterproof eye makeup. Like it's like we live here now, we're never leaving. And I end up needing to take a Q-tip after wearing it every single time and cleaning up all the leftover mascara around the lash line in the inner corner. It's like, it turns like into a black greasy balm that does not want to leave my eye area. So does it smudge? No. Does it flake? No. Does it make my lashes look great? Yes. Is it a terror to take off? Yeah. I really wanted to find an affordable drugstore, easy to find mascara, because the one that I like from Hamish, it's not expensive, but I have to buy it online. I can't just walk into an Ulta and get it. I would love to do that. So if you know of an affordable, like $12 or less, tubing mascara that you can get at the drugstore, let me know. So the last product I have for you that's a fail for me is a skincare product, and it's from Pixi. It's their Clarity Acid Peel. I fell in love with a skin peel that I tried when I was getting Mimi boxes years ago, and then later was ordering things directly from Korea. The idea of a peel is there are enzymes in here, but there's also some cellulose. You know, it's gonna ball up a little bit, but a product that you spread on your skin. And then there are some not just exfoliating acids and things in here, but the more you rub it around, you'll start seeing that it starts to kind of pill up on itself. And this helps to exfoliate your skin. And I think the reason that this does it is because of the cellulose that's in here that helps it kind of ball up. And it does exfoliate my skin, and it does leave my skin, I'm just losing all of these little bits. I'm gonna put them over here in my trash can. The problem I've had with this are other acid peels that I purchased before. This was like almost 20 bucks. Was it 20 bucks, 26 bucks? Anyway, it was kind of expensive. And you're getting 2.7 ounces, so it's a decent amount. But I think I've had other ones that are less expensive, work just as well, and don't ball up as quickly. Like you can put it on your face and let it sit for a little bit to let the enzymes kind of go to work. And then you start to massage your skin, and it really does gently exfoliate. And I really like that. And this is a multi-acid blend combined with natural cellulose and bamboo stem to help soften and exfoliate dead skin. So the idea is you apply a thin layer onto skin, avoiding the eye area, leave it on for up to 2 minutes, and then gently massage your skin for 30 seconds, rinse off. So the problem I have is every time I'm trying to put it on, it's instantly balling up. There is no putting it on and leaving it on without it starting to crumble off my face. Other ones I could like put on and smooth and leave, and then a couple minutes later come back and start exfoliating. This one, it's weird. It says to smooth it on. You can't smooth it on. It lumps on, and there is no spreading it out. Once it starts to congeal on itself and kind of coalesce into little balls everywhere, that's it. It's a little bit frustrating, and I feel like there are more cosmetically elegant versions of this type of product that you can get from Korean brands, and if I can remember what they are, I will list them for you in the description box below. But does it work? Yes. Is it my favorite version of this type of product? Is it more expensive than the other ones? Okay, there you go. That's it. Favorites and fails. I would love to know what sort of products have you been loving this month. And I like that I have some skincare in here. I have some brushes. It's not all just makeup. But I definitely see as the weather is warming up, my preferences are changing. I would love to know what sorts of things you like to wear in summer, what things have been staples for you this month, or products that you've been really curious to try. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Have an incredible day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.